bangers. Welcome to another episode of Heavy Metal 101 Reviews, where we listen to a song that we're not very familiar with, and we give our honest and unbiased opinion. And today we're going to listen to Agent Orange by SODOM, which came out in 1989. SODOM are a German thrash metal band that was formed in 1981. They're considered one of the big four of German thrash metal, along with Creator, Destruction, and Tankard. This album, this is off the album titled Agent Orange, and it contains lyrical content about the Vietnam War, which the lead singer, Tom Angel Ripper, which is an awesome stage name for a heavy metal lead singer, he was fascinated with the Vietnam War, so he wrote an album about it. The linear notes include the message, "This album is dedicated to all people, soldiers and civilians, who died by senseless aggressions of wars all over the world." So, I guess I can ask you first. Are you familiar with SODOM at all?
No. I know they're really big over in Germany still, but you'd see it everywhere.
Okay, I've heard, I believe, one or two SODOM songs, but I have not delved very deep into their discography. So I'll be checking this out for the first time along with you.
waiting for the end. In this condition, they are dying. Newborn of the death. Just the death of some generations. The circle of transmission. There is no way for reparations. Must live with chemical agent cards. Agent Orange. Agent Orange. Agent Orange. The fire that doesn't burn. Orange burn. Orange burn. Agent Orange burn.
All right. What'd you think of that one?
I remember I was sitting there at the intro thinking the only thing that could screw this up is the vocals. And I will tell you that the vocals caught me off guard. I was not expecting that. I was expecting more of a thrash voice, but instead you get like almost like this Venom type voice, which oddly enough, the lyrical content is really what drew me in and intrigued me and allowed me to look past the fact that I didn't necessarily care for the vocals, because I appreciated the fact that it was so well researched. I mean, I've heard about Agent Orange before, but I never really knew what it was. So as we were listening to the song, I'm sitting here researching Agent Orange. And that's just, you know, that's the hard part about being in the military is you get exposed to all this crap. Our
Right.
Agent Orange is the shit burning pits in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Right.
But no, it was interesting to, you know, to have a history lesson in a song.
Right. So Agent Orange, for our viewers who don't really know, was like an herbicide that they used to basically defoliage the area, you know, so it was easier to, I suppose, maneuver and do whatever else they needed to do. And this is shit that got in the soil and stays in the soil for like decades, and has caused, you know, a lot of birth defects and all kinds of other really shitty things.
Yeah, if you've ever, I've done military operations in a jungle environment, and it is a nightmare. It really is. I can understand what their intent was,
Right.
because it's not bad enough that you have all this overgrowth and all the trees and everything, but these little bastards are burrowed into the ground. So, you know, like I said, I see why they did it. Perhaps flamethrowers would have been a better idea, maybe.
Mm.
But yeah, it caused a lot of issues with birth defects and stillborns and miscarriages and whole cancer. If you ever seen the movie Jacob's Ladder, that was about Agent Orange,
Yep.
which is a trippy movie. But no, there was another song. Matter of fact, when I met the guitarist from Biohazard, his name escapes me at the moment. That's what the song, I think it's called We Remember, on their Tales from the Hard Side album. That's what that was about, because his dad was struggling with Agent Orange contamination and all of that, and it was a lifelong struggle. So
Yeah. Well, back to the actual song, I'm totally on board with you. Like the music, I'm a big thrash fan, so I basically thought the exact same thing. Like, this is going to be good as long as the vocals don't fuck it up, and the vocals kind of fucked it up. So I've heard one of the other songs that I heard from SODOM is a much newer song. I wanted to say it was like the early 2000s, and it sounded much better. It sounded more like newer, like maybe 90s Slayer. It was pretty good. There was a part early on in the song that I thought sounded just like the Megadeth song In My Darkest Hour. And this song came out in 1989, so there was a point where you see me playing, you know, looking down. I was looking up to see when that song came out, In My Darkest Hour, and that came out in 1988. So very well may have influenced this song, because it sounded, I could almost hear Dave Mustaine singing there in the beginning part of the song. But yeah, the guitars, the transitions and different changes, the lyrics themselves, all good. Just the vocals didn't do it for me.
What I really liked, and it's something I've been paying more attention to as we've been doing this channel, and I think I sent you a video on why new music sucks. I think I sent that to you. And they were talking about everything being like time synced and perfected. And if you're listening to the drums, and ever since that video, I've been paying more attention to the drums, you hear the human element of it. You can hear some things are slightly off, or he missed something, and you can tell it's there, but they kept it in there. And I like that raw, unadulterated, non-manipulated aspect to older music.
And that's what rock and roll is all about. I mean, not just heavy metal, but rock and roll shouldn't be perfect, shouldn't be polished. This is something that's come up in several of our videos, but yeah, I mean, like I said, overall, this is considered a pretty highly regarded thrash album, this whole album. And the fact that it's about war and Vietnam War in particular makes me very interested in the album itself, and to hear some of the other songs and what they sound like. And the fact that I think this is my second song I've listened to by SODOM. One of them I really liked a lot, including the vocals. This one I liked, except for the vocals. So definitely a band that I'll probably look into a little bit further.
Yeah, I like music that gives you a history lesson, because probably what I'm going to do after we get off of here is I'm probably going to go watch videos about Agent Orange.
Yeah.
Iced Earth was big into that. The album they did with Tim Ripper Owens, that whole thing was about the Civil War, because John Schaefer is a historian, so he would research things, and that would become his lyrical content. So anything that has meaning or tells a story or gives a lesson, I love that stuff.
And the obvious example too is "Run to the Hills" by Iron Maiden. That's probably one of the more popular metal songs that gives you a history lesson at the same time. So yeah, so everybody who's watching, comment down below and let us know what you think of this song. What do you think of SODOM, Agent Orange? And let us know what you think of us. And until next time, rock and roll.